Welcome back. Congress back in session this Monday, but negotiations are still at a standstill to get the Department of Homeland Security back up and running after funding lapsed last Saturday. The GOP says that the Democrats are using the partial shutdown to stall a Senate vote on the Save America Act. That's the legislation requiring proof of citizenship to vote. President Trump doubling down on his push for voter ID during a speech in Georgia yesterday. Watch.
ID. We want proof of citizenship. For you to vote, let's prove that you're an American. So please, proof of citizenship. They're fighting that. Republicans have to win this one. We'll never lose a race. For 50 years, we won't lose a race. We want voter ID. We want proof of citizenship. And we don't want mail-in ballots except for the military far away, except for people that are ill, disabled, or people that are away. Even for a vacation, we'll be generous, okay?
The president reiterating on Truth Social that the Save America Act will become law one way or another. The legislation has backing from 50 Senate Republicans, enough to clear at least one procedural hurdle, but not enough to overcome a filibuster without Democrat support. We're talking about the talking filibuster, which is expected next week. Joining me now is New York Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis. Congresswoman, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the SAVE Act? Do you believe that, in fact, this will at some point see the light of day? I know you passed it in the House.
Well, look, it's all up to the Senate. It depends what kind of legal maneuvers they can utilize over there to get this thing across the finish line. I hope they do, because as a New Yorker, I can tell you, here in New York, they're giving driver's licenses to people who are not citizens. They're giving driver's license to illegal immigrants. And the driver's license has nothing different. There's no distinction to indicate that that individual is an illegal immigrant or a U.S. citizen, which is why this legislation not only requires identification, but it needs to be real ID, or it needs to be a passport for that very purpose. The Democrats have actually diluted the driver's licenses here, where you can't even tell if someone is in the country legally or not by just looking at it. It's insane. But in addition to that, when you apply for that driver's license, you can do it's an automatic voter registration. It's automatic unless you opt out. And so there's real serious questions about who is being enrolled to vote here in the state of New York and in states across the country that have the same mechanism.
Well, thank you very much, because that is exactly what I tried to explain to your colleague, Congressman Jared Moskowitz from Florida this week. Watch this.
If the bill was you have to use your driver's license to vote, I would support it. It could be a one-line bill, Maria.
Yeah.
One line.
You want the bill adjusted to just have an ID to vote and the use of a driver's license. How do we know that the driver's license is going to be adequate if you have heard stories that they're giving driver's licenses to illegals?
Again, there's no evidence that non-citizens are voting in our elections, Maria. There's none. Where is the evidence? Where's the court cases? There's none of that.
We have seen many cases, in fact, that illegals have, in fact, tried to vote. You even have illegals driving big trucks, and they can't even read the signs because they're in English. So he's pushing back there, Congressman. So thank you for setting the record straight, because we were talking about this all week. I've got to get your take on what's going on in New York right now. And I know that the Democrats are trying to play fast and loose with you on redistricting going into the midterm elections. I'm going to get to that. But first, Mayor Zohran Mamdani floating this massive property tax increase on New Yorkers to help close a $12 billion budget gap. He claims it's necessary if the state won't raise taxes on the higher earners. Watch this.
There are two paths to bridge this gap. The first is the most sustainable and the fairest path. This is the path of ending the drain on our city and raising taxes on the richest New Yorkers and the most profitable corporations. And if we do not go down the first path, the city will be forced down a second, more harmful path. Faced with no other choice, the city would have to exercise the only revenue lever fully within our own control. We would have to raise property taxes.
So he's proposing 9.5% increase. Mamdani is saying budget changes that would scale back former Mayor Eric Adams' plans to add 5,000 additional NYPD officers. So, Congresswoman, now, in order to meet his budget plans, he's actually wanting to cut back on the plans to hire more NYPD. Your thoughts?
Yeah, that's a lot of fuzzy math there because you have a $12 billion deficit. He's actually increasing spending by roughly $12 billion. And then he's saying we're not going to give your tax dollars where they're supposed to go, like things like public safety. He's going to cut back on hiring 5,000 additional police officers that are desperately needed because we are so down from the numbers we were on September 11, 2001. And so he wants to cancel those 5,000 police officers. That's where he's going to cut. And then he's saying he wants to raise property taxes. The property tax levy here in New York City has gone up year after year after year. Now he wants to, on top of it, increase the rate, which will crush the people that I represent in Staten Island and Southern Brooklyn and people all across the city, particularly the lower income, the middle class families, because of the way the property tax structure is so unfair and skewed here in the city of New York. So we're going to fight this proposal. It is ludicrous. This guy, he has to abandon this Marxism if we're going to survive in this city for 4 years. That's the bottom line, and we're going to fight him each and every step of the way.
And we've already seen people leaving New York to go to places like Texas and Florida. Let's talk about what the Democrats are doing right now. They want to redistrict you. New York court's giving the Democrats the go-ahead to redraw your congressional district. The change could affect the Republican district, which includes Staten Island, parts of Brooklyn, right there in your constituents, into a more competitive district, they claim, combining Staten Island and Lower Manhattan. Republicans requesting for an appeal in New York's top court was denied, and a Supreme Court fight is next. Where is this going?
Well, look, obviously, this is a very meritless lawsuit. However, unfortunately, the way that the judicial system is set up here in New York, you had a judge who was chief of staff and counsel to Governor Kathy Hochul. This was an appointed judge. This was not an elected judge. We are moving forward and going to the U.S. Supreme Court, asking them to intervene because they cannot gerrymander based on race. It is unconstitutional. Supreme Court said so in 2017. We're asking them to intervene here. We believe that they will preserve our maps.
Congresswoman, real quick before you go, what are you expecting from the President's State of the Union on Tuesday night?
You have so much to talk about. I mean, look, we delivered the largest tax cut for American families, for the working middle-class people, senior citizens. The economy's doing better. Inflation is down. Interest rates are down. Egg prices are down. Gas prices are down. I expect this to be a round of success and victories, and America keeps winning under President Trump. And he's going to talk about what he's done and what he will do over the next 3 years.
Do you think the Democrats are going to not show up?
I think some of them will show up, unfortunately, and heckle them. We'll see. We saw how decorum was so poor last year. They wouldn't even stand for a child who had cancer. It is ludicrous. We're going to see those types of shenanigans again this year, unfortunately. But I look forward to hearing the president's speech, and I'm proud of the work we've accomplished over our first year.
Unbelievable, as do I. Congressman, thanks so much. Nicole Malliotakis this morning. We'll be right back.